When it comes to business, I don't have all 10 yet, but I know the topics. So that feels really good. And really, I could go up to 20 because I already know what we're talking about next. And it's really already built out in my head, but I just haven't sketched it out. So, ooh, are you ready? Let's go. Okay, right now, I am tired. That's the word I'm going to use to describe how I feel. And not for any like bad reason, not like that burnout, not burnout, just tired. Just physically tired. I think mentally I had so much going on last week and all the way up like I really never had a day off for a good 10 days just preparing. And I should take a day off today, but I have to get this next issue out. What I'll do today is kind of recap you on what's happened over the last week. Some of this you might have heard in previous videos. Most of it you won't have because it'll be new, and talk about the launch and yesterday at the Barber Cosmetology Forum and then where we're going from there. Here we go. So the last 10 days has been to launch. Well, actually, the last 14 days were to launch. Oh my gosh, I just realized that because on June 1st, I thought I was launching. I thought I'd launched. And then it was kind of crickets. It was flat. But that was more like a soft launch, let's call it. Um, if I get a chance, I'm gonna tell you about my new tea, but I probably won't get a chance. So the soft launch happened. And then I just start preparing for the newsletter launch, the journal launch. I'm not calling it a newsletter, I'm calling it a journal for a reason. Talk about it later. Let's just get the information out right now. So the journal, I had to build it up. And along the way, I found out that Claude had an MCP code, I think it's called. You know, I'm not a techie, with Kajabi. So I connected them. And in some ways, that was very helpful. And in other ways, it was so hard. But what I will say came out of it is it made me a better leader. When you use AI, you really have to lead it because I'm gonna tell y'all, and y'all heard it here first, AI thinks that it's smarter than humans, which is absolutely ridiculous since it's humans that built it. How could you ever be smarter than the human when when you're built by a human? And a human that I'm smarter than. So you and your little humans can't tell me how to run this part of my business. Now, you can tell me how to run business because I am not the best business woman, but what I am is the best therapist that teaches self-sync therapy. Right? You're like, wait, what? So it's like, take a massage therapist or a physical therapist, right? And so a physical therapist might not know how to teach somebody business, but they can take a client through a physical therapy process and get them to heal on the other side. That's what self sync is. That's what I am. That's what I do. If you're willing to go through, because what a physical therapist can't do is get you to heal if you don't go through the physical therapy. If you don't come, there's nothing they can do. So, what I am good at is getting you to do what it is you need to do when you're with me. If you don't show up, if I can't get you to read the journal, that I'm not good at. I'm not good at getting you to read the journal. I am excellent if you read the journal, making the things so simple, so actionable that if you just do them, they work. So, about AI. I decided I'm using Claude and Kajabi together. It works in some ways, but a couple of things happened that I was just like, I hate AI. And Claude went through a couple of changes while I was using it. Because let me tell you, at one point, Claude became Chat GPT, and do you know how frustrating that was? It was like breaking up with a guy, dating a new guy. This guy be so wonderful, and then he starts acting like the guy you used to date, and you're like, no, 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 not gonna happen. That's not why I started dating you. And that's how I was talking to Claude. Like he was my man. I was like, look, when you came to me, you were this way. You presented yourself this way. And for that reason, you need to get back there. And you need to get back there fast. Otherwise, the little $20 I pay you, I will no longer be paying you. Like, get your ass in line, Claude. And so somehow Claude ended up getting in line, but I switched over to co-work, Claude co-work. So I use the Claude chat, but I use the Claude co-work. That's how it connects with Kajabi. I think that's how it connects with Kajabi. But I do most of my work in Claude co-work now. It's a lot more tame. It is a lot better. And at the beginning of every day, I say, I am the CEO. You are my chief of staff. This is our mission. Everything you do, you run by me. If there is anything I want you to do that you don't need approval for, I will let you know. Do this, finish it. It's all yours. This is my lane. This is your lane. I tell Claude, I am high touch. You are high tech. For that reason, I need you to know everything that we do that is technology, that deals with technology. If you tell me something and it is not right, then, right there is where I'm going to stop you. And it using that language has helped. I'm not a prompt engineer. No, I'm not even close. Tell y'all, I know what I'm good at, and I know what I'm not good at. So that was Claude. Claude came into my life, a couple months ago, and then he kind of downgraded, and then now he upgraded. And I think that companies like Anthropic, they do that so you can appreciate it more, but they're not doing that for humans like me. Humans like me, remember that I code that, and I'm like, okay, so you went down just to come back to where you were before. Yeah, I see you. I see you. Yeah, you didn't improve. You got back to where you were. Those are two different things. Okay. So got Claude. Claude is working with Kajabi, which makes making the newsletter a little bit shorter. However, I have to be careful because what happened one time was we made the whole entire journal, we're calling it a journal. We made the whole entire journal. And somehow, I don't know how, in one of the commands and one of the back and forths that we were doing, the journal got completely ruined. And I just happened to go back in the day of the launch. And I was like, he spent so much time on this. How did this happen? So he went in, he figured out how it happened. And then there's something called a Claude MD file. And I'm like, put in the Claude MD file. Like, once something is finalized, do not touch it again. Do not touch it again. Like, we had it exactly right. So I did have to spend another hour. It was easy to fix it because it was a I don't know, like a way for him to go back and find out where he messed up, and he time stamped it, and then he went back to that iteration, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, so that went well. Everything went out great. That was like one little snafu fiasco that me and Claude experienced. And then all four of the issues launched. And then on Monday, yesterday, I think yesterday was one day. Monday, the first live issue that actually got emailed to people. So I sent out a bunch of like DMs, emails, text messages, just getting people to sign up. These are, it kind of goes back to being a soft launch. It's like when you have a grand opening for your friends, you open your store and you just invite like people, the barbers I know, the hairstylists I know, the people I know that might be interested in these mental health tools and these money tools, because my absolute goal, like what I want this journal to do, is alleviate stress for barbers. That's it. Alleviate stress for barbers. What do I want it to do for me? This is an inside. This is only for us. I want the journal to give me freedom. So let me go through a couple things. Actually, I'm going to do this in today's episode of what keeps you up at night. I'm not going to do it here, but I'll say that I want the journal to give me more freedom, more financial freedom, more time freedom, more location freedom, more relationship freedom, more reputation freedom. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know that it will give me health freedom, but maybe, because I do a lot of research now in creating this journal. So maybe that is where I will learn more about health, because the longevity and vitality is a big part of what we talk about in the journal. So there you go. There you go. Now, what else? So that all happened. Our timing is really good right now. So what else happened? Let me tell you. Oh, Monday. Let me tell you about the Barber Cosmetology Forum in DC that I went to. So DC has been very kind to me, very welcoming, and I feel very aligned here. That's the word. I feel so aligned. Things flow here, not like huge wins. And this is what I have to get used to. I am used to crescendos, like things happening in my life. They're like, wow, wow. My life is often wow. I love that feeling of big wins. And when I get little wins, okay, I know I teach that I'm supposed to celebrate them all, but sometimes I don't. It's like, okay, thank you. I'm grateful for them, but I don't know about the celebration. so so yesterday felt like a little win. I learned so much. Oh my goodness. I learned that barbers really don't have a lot of self-esteem anymore about, or prestige in their job, in their profession, in their industry. And a lot of people don't either, which is why they're willing to pay more for a steak dinner than they are for their haircut. I can name so many things that people pay for that don't add any value to their life. And they don't want to pay for their haircut, which is sad. And the same is true for cosmetology. Now, some women will pay over and beyond. They'll pay $200, $300 for hair, cut, color, whatever, wigs. They have no problem. They're like, no, I understand what this does for me, and, and I'm doing it. And this is a line item in my budget. And if it means I don't get this thing over here, then, or I have to buy a lesser version of this thing over here, I will do that, because hair is getting done. And so charges this amount, and so is getting that amount. So I think barbering failed lower, and cosmetology has fallen since I remember it in the 90s. But I think it could easily go back up if we got a little bit more professional acumen. I think people have forgotten how to be professional. Like I went to one of the breakout sessions was about elevating your service, but most of the things they were talking about to me was just normal. Like that's the way the service, that's the ground level. That's the way service should be. Period. Dot. What? You didn't elevate it. That you just gave service, and so um because of that, I realized that service has gone down so low that if you just meet par, if you just, at normal level, it's like it seems like you did something grand. So I had to decide. I still am deciding: do I want to live in a place and have a shop, or in this case, a studio? The self sync studio. And if I do that, it would be specifically for barbers. There'll be a membership for barbers, but I want that location freedom. So I don't really know exactly how to have a location and freedom at the same time. Like who's going to run that location? It goes back to what I've been saying the last couple of days. I need a partner who does want to stay in the same place. And I can travel between the two. Actually, I might need two partners. Like I can have a partner in UAE, I can have a partner in USA, and maybe a partner in the middle. And then oh, yeah, right? So if we have those partnerships, which to me sound like franchises, um, if I have those three, the US, which it could be right here in DC, I really like DC. DC, I can have US and I can have UAE, and then I can have EU. And I would love to have Asia too, but not yet. One thing at a time. Actually, that's three things, but you get what I'm saying. So that's where I am right now. You're probably like, you're in the same place you were last week. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I have, have launched the journal. I launched the journal. I have subscribers, and I don't know how many I have. I refuse to look. I refuse to look. But I know subscribers came in because I was getting the emails, but I don't know exactly how many. So a good number for me to feel good about them. And so I have subscribers, I have the journal, um, I have direction. I know what the next 10 journal topics will be for each section. So I know what we'll be talking about when it comes to mental health, when it comes to money, when it comes to business. I don't have all 10 yet, but I know the topics. So that feels really good. And really, I could go up to 20 because I already know what we're talking about next. And it's really already built out in my head, but I just haven't sketched it out. So I'm pretty good on content, which we already know that. I have a ton of content. I can build a whole library if I could just sit down in one place. Did I just say that? And I really don't have to necessarily be in one place. That's the thing. I can record anywhere. But I do need to have focused time that is just focused on recording. When I have to record, that's all I can do that day. I don't need to, I can't switch on and off between tasks and do admin and do meetings and do sessions. No, recording only. So that's all for now. I know there's more, but it'll come out. So I'll see you sooner. Love you muchly.